Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that has taken the digital world by storm: NFTs. You've probably seen headlines about digital art selling for millions, or maybe you've heard friends talking about their latest digital collectible. But have you ever wondered where it all began? What was the very first NFT? And how did this seemingly overnight sensation actually start? Well, grab your digital wallets, because we're about to travel back in time to uncover the surprising origin story of the non-fungible token. To understand the first NFT, we first need to understand what an NFT actually is. Don't worry, I'll keep it simple. Imagine you own a famous painting, like the Mona Lisa. There's only one original, right? Even if there are thousands of perfect copies, only one is the real deal. An NFT, or non-fungible token, does the same thing for digital items. Non-fungible is just a fancy way of saying unique and can't be replaced. So, an NFT is a unique digital certificate of ownership, stored on a secure public ledger called a blockchain. This certificate can be attached to anything digital: art, music, a video clip, even a tweet. It proves you own the original digital item, even if others can copy and paste it. Now, let's rewind the clock. Most people think the NFT craze started with CryptoPunks in 2017, or maybe even CryptoKitties later that year. But the real story begins much earlier, in a time before NFT was even a term. We have to go back to 2014. The world was buzzing about Bitcoin, and a few forward-thinking tech pioneers were exploring what else blockchain technology could do besides just being a digital currency. On May 3, 2014, at a tech conference in New York City, a digital artist named Kevin McCoy and a technologist named Anil Dash decided to try an experiment. They wanted to see if they could use blockchain technology, specifically a blockchain called Namecoin, which was an early offshoot of Bitcoin, to establish verifiable ownership of a piece of digital art. McCoy created a short, pulsating, octagonal animation. It's a simple, hypnotic loop of glowing geometric shapes. He named it Quantum. That day, on stage, McCoy minted Quantum. He registered the artwork on the Namecoin blockchain, linking the digital file to a token that he owned. In his own words, he was creating the first version of a system that would allow artists to own and sell their digital work. He essentially created a permanent, unchangeable record that said, Kevin McCoy is the creator and owner of this specific digital file. And just like that, the very first NFT was born. There was no big auction, no media frenzy. It was a quiet, revolutionary moment that almost no one noticed at the time. For years, Quantum remained a niche piece of digital history, known only to a small circle of blockchain enthusiasts. McCoy and Dash's experiment was ahead of its time. The technology was clunky, the concept was abstract, and the world just wasn't ready. The idea of digital scarcity was still a foreign concept to most. Think about it. In a world where you can right-click and save any image, why would you need to own a digital file? It was a question that would take several years for the mainstream to grapple with. The turning point came in 2017 with the launch of the Ethereum blockchain. Ethereum was a game-changer because it introduced smart contracts. These are self-executing contracts with the terms of the agreement directly written into code. This made creating and trading unique digital assets much easier. It paved the way for projects like CryptoPunks, a collection of 10,000 unique, algorithmically generated pixel art characters. Initially given away for free, they quickly became a hot commodity as people realized the value of owning a verifiably rare digital collectible. They weren't the first, but they were the first to capture the collective imagination and create a true market. Soon after CryptoPunks, another project called CryptoKitties exploded onto the scene. It was a game where you could buy, sell, and breed unique digital cats. Some of these digital felines sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. The game became so popular that it famously slowed down the entire Ethereum network. This was the moment the mainstream media really started paying attention. The idea that a digital cat could be worth more than a real car was baffling, intriguing, and undeniably newsworthy. The seeds planted by Kevin McCoy's Quantum were finally starting to sprout in a massive way. So, What has been the impact of this invention? It's been monumental, and it goes far beyond just quirky digital art. For artists, NFTs have opened up a new world of possibilities. For centuries, digital artists struggled to monetize their work in the same way traditional artists could. How do you sell an original piece of art that can be infinitely copied with no loss of quality? NFTs solved this. Now digital creators can sell their work directly to a global audience, retain ownership rights, and even earn a royalty every time their work is resold. This has empowered a new generation of creators who were previously overlooked by the traditional art world. But the impact extends beyond art. In the music industry, artists are using NFTs to sell albums, concert tickets, and exclusive experiences, bypassing traditional record labels and connecting directly with their fans. In gaming, NFTs are allowing players to truly own their in-game items, like swords, armor, or skins, and trade them on open marketplaces, creating real-world economies within virtual worlds. Even brands are getting in on the action, using NFTs for marketing, loyalty programs, and creating unique digital merchandise. The technology is creating new models for ownership, community, and value in the digital realm. Of course, the journey hasn't been without its controversies. The NFT space has been criticized for its environmental impact. Due to the energy-intensive nature of some blockchains, although many newer platforms are moving to more eco-friendly systems, there have also been issues with scams, art theft, and the speculative, volatile nature of the market, which feels like a bubble to many. These are serious challenges that the community is actively working to address. It's important to remember that this technology is still in its infancy. Like the early days of the internet, it's a bit of a wild west right now, full of both incredible opportunity and significant risk. So, what happened to Quantum, the first ever NFT? For years, it sat in relative obscurity. Then, as the NFT market exploded in 2021, its historical significance was finally recognized. In June 2021, Sotheby's, one of the world's most prestigious auction houses, put Quantum up for sale. It was a landmark moment, bridging the gap between the traditional art world and the new frontier of digital art. The pulsating octagon, created as a simple proof of concept 7 years earlier, sold for an incredible $1.47 million. It was the ultimate validation of McCoy and Dash's vision. The quiet experiment had become a $1 million masterpiece, cementing its place in art and technology history. From a single experimental animation in 2014 to a multi-billion-dollar global market, the story of the first NFT is a testament to the power of innovation. It shows how a simple idea, proving ownership in a digital world, can evolve into a disruptive technology that is reshaping entire industries. Whether you think NFTs are the future of ownership or a passing fad, their origin story is a fascinating look at how technology, art, and economics can collide in unexpected and revolutionary ways. The journey of Quantum from a conference stage to a Sotheby's auction block is the journey of the NFT itself, from a niche concept to a cultural phenomenon. And that's the incredible story of how the first NFT came to life. It's a reminder that the biggest revolutions often start with the smallest experiments. What do you think about NFTs? Are you a collector, a creator, or a skeptic? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this deep dive into digital history, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more stories like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.